I'm Marian Bienvenu, and I'm an educator at the Louisiana Art and Science Museum. If you have ever been to LASM, you've probably seen our Egyptian mummy, ooh, or maybe you've seen the 65-million-year-old Triceratops skull, or maybe you've seen a show in the Irene W. Pennington Planetarium. Now, behind me is a banner for BASF, one of the world's largest chemical companies, which makes chemicals that go into products that all of us use every day. But what does a museum have in common with a chemical company? Well, both organizations encourage kids like you to become lifelong learners and explorers. And our common goal is to engage the future leaders and innovators of tomorrow by creating a spark of interest in the possibilities that exist in STEM fields and careers. There are a lot of cool jobs in science. Now, what is STEM? Like the stem of a flower? No! I'm talking about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM. And how does STEM relate to our daily lives? Well, BASF and LASM have been partners for almost 10 years and have been creating chemistry together by offering BASF's Kids Lab workshops to the thousands of students, teachers, families that visit us at the museum. In fact, this year is Kids Lab's 10th birthday. Happy birthday, Kids Lab! Thanks for all of the educational fun throughout the years, and we look forward to celebrating together with a virtual birthday party at LASM in the coming months. Don't want to miss out on that. Now, what is Kids Lab, right? BASF Kids Lab is a fun, engaging, award-winning program offered in over 30 countries throughout the world. That's right, the world! The goal of Kids Lab is to foster science literacy by encouraging children, and well, actually all of us, to explore the relevance and importance in chemistry and what it does for our daily lives. Now, BASF wants to inspire you to be the next generation of scientists, engineers, problem solvers, and critical thinkers to lead us into the future. Those of you who have participated in Kids Lab before know that safety is always a top priority, and each participant always receives their own BASF safety gear. So, before we begin our soap sculpture today, let's make sure we are being super safe. Safety glasses like these right here will prevent any small soap particles from getting into our eyes. And this apron will help keep me nice and clean and protected. Now, if you don't have safety glasses or an apron at home, don't worry, you can still make a soap sculpture, just be extra careful, okay? Okay. Now, if you do have your apron and glasses at home, why don't you go put those on right now? Now, what does making a soap sculpture have to do with BASF? Well, BASF values the health and the safety of people, customers, communities, where they all live and where they all operate. Now, did you know that BASF's site in Geismar, Louisiana, right over in Ascension Parish, is the largest plant in all of North America? Wow! Now, do some of you have a family member or a friend or a neighbor who works at BASF? Yeah? If so, ask them to share information with you about their job at BASF. BASF employees have been very busy lately, creating the ingredients that go into the products being used to combat the COVID-19 virus. Let's check out some examples of how BASF is helping protect against COVID-19. Some of the chemicals BASF makes go into products like these that we use every day to help keep us safe. Oh, disinfecting wipes keep surfaces clean and help keep our homes, schools, and workplaces safe, healthy, and sparkly. Let's see what else we have. Oh, hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer keeps our hands clean and germ-free. Doctors, nurses, teachers, students, everyone needs hand sanitizer when soap and water isn't available. Next, of course, how about the adhesive or elastic used in face masks that protect healthcare providers and others working on the front lines? Very helpful. And finally, we have face shields. The plastic used to make medical face shields help frontline workers keep them safe, especially right now during COVID-19. Oh my goodness gracious, so many important things to help keep us safe. Thank you, BASF, for producing the chemicals that go into making these and so many other important products that we all depend on to keep us safe. Now, at their site, BASF has a production unit called the surfactants plant. Surfactants, that's a fun word. Surfactants are what makes the bubbles in your shampoo and your soap that help keep us clean. Wow, chemicals really do help keep us safe. Now, speaking of soap, I think it's time for our big project, a soap sculpture. Today, we are going to be combining art and science by turning a boring bar of soap into a beautiful piece of artwork, a sculpture. Now, let's clarify something. I keep saying that word, sculpture. But what is a sculpture? Well, a sculpture is a three-dimensional piece of artwork, like the one I have here. A sculpture is different from a flat, two-dimensional piece of artwork, like a painting or a photograph. Now, can you compare the difference between the two? A 2D object has height and width, but no depth. A sculpture, or a 3D object, has height, width, and depth. Sculptures can be made from many materials, or as artists call them, mediums. You could have metal as your medium. You could have wood as your medium. You could have stone as your medium. You could have clay as your medium, or in this case, soap. An artist starts with a solid mass and then reduces it to create the desired form. This is called carving. Tools differ with the medium or the material being carved. For example, stone is carved with steel tool like chisels. I don't think we're gonna need a chisel to carve this soap today. Do you? Nah. By the way, right now we have an amazing exhibition of sculptures at the museum by a very talented artist named Frank Hayden, and we hope that you'll come to the museum and check it out online. Absolutely. The exhibition is called Frank Hayden Lift Every Voice. All right, let's make a masterpiece. For our activity today, you will need a bar of soap, a pencil, a piece of paper, a pair of scissors, plastic butter knife, a paper clip, and a paintbrush. First, choose a flat surface with good lighting for your workspace. The kitchen table or desk will work well. Next, Cover part of your workspace with paper and place a bar of soap onto the paper. Now, use a pencil to trace the outline of your soap onto the paper. Draw your design inside of the paper outline, then use your scissors to cut out your design. Let's see. I think I am going to make, perfect, an Erlenmeyer flask, just like our friend Morph is in right behind me. All right, here we go. Place your paper design on the bar of soap and lightly carve the design into the soap using pencil as a tool. Using a plastic knife, remove the larger pieces of soap. Then, use a paper clip to shave off the smaller pieces of soap. Use a paintbrush to brush away the soap dust. Wow! Look at that! My very own soap sculpture! Awesome! Now, take a picture of your artistic creation and share it with your family and your friends. Finally, you can use your leftover soap scraps to fight against the coronavirus and wash your hands. Art and science working together to make the world a better place. Remember, wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. I like to sing my ABCs or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star while I wash my hands to make sure I am getting them nice and clean. And be sure to wash your hands immediately after blowing your nose, coughing, sneezing, using the bathroom, or touching any surfaces in a public space. And of course, wash your hands before eating or preparing food and before touching your face. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you made a soap sculpture with us today, we would love to see it. And so would our partners at BASF. Tag LASM on either Facebook or Instagram, and be sure to mention hashtag STEM@BASF in your post as well. Had fun today? Come visit us at the Louisiana Art and Science Museum in person on Thursdays through Saturdays. Be sure to check out our digital learning platform, virtual-lasm.org, and keep an eye out for more engaging BASF-sponsored virtual activities like this one in the future. There's so much more, we promise. And remember, make sure you continue to do your part to combat the COVID-19 virus by social distancing, wearing your mask over your nose and your mouth, and washing your hands often throughout the day. Thanks again to our amazing partners at BASF for making this presentation possible. Bye, friends.